shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna,
I've been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so
It's a dirty show, though.
well, it's clean dirt.
Forgive me, but the best restaurants of the world are here in Vegas. I mean, you have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrities here. The Harley Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here, and Britney Spears came over here like 2 weeks ago.
Boy, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will. Oh.
That's so Vegas. Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar. This week I'm going to say WCOBM right. Last week, don't ask me why, my tongue got twisted. I couldn't say it. World Center of Broadcast Media. We are live. I'm here with a very special woman who has very unique talents, Nancy Barr. You have so much, we have so much to talk about. For those of you not familiar with Nancy's career, and she's been in Vegas quite a long time. As a matter of fact, The Psychic Eye was a whole series of tarot type psychic shops. They were very popular in town, and you were one of the top.
Yeah, I was top
requested.
Yeah.
So you are a clairvoyant,
Right.
You're also a clinical hypnotist. Is that correct?
I am, and I'm actually certified in a lot of healing arts.
You really like the healing arts.
I do.
could tell. We were talking before the show started. I know you do Reiki.
I do Reiki.
And you have a how would you describe it? A master's degree in Buddhism, or?
Well, I was made a master in healing
master.
Buddha.
Healing Buddha.
It's a healing lineage, yeah.
Interesting, and like you said, we were talking again. Guys, sometimes we have more fun before the show starts, but we were just getting to know each other better and warm up. That actually, when we were speaking of the Buddhism, it's not so much a religion as a principle of thought, correct?
It is. It's a school.
A school of
school
thought.
of enlightenment, a school of raising one's energy, how to live one's life without suffering.
Which we would all probably really like to learn. I know of late with the political arena the way it is, and everybody's backstabbing, and it's just so vicious. And everybody's getting upset, So we're going to cleanse that. Okay, we're going to deal with that a little later in the segments here. What I found really fascinating, again, when I was looking into your background, and I mean, we know each other because our wonderful pal Norm Johnson introduced us several years ago.
Right.
And even then, I could tell you had a special energy about you.
Thank you.
It's in your eyes and your whole aura. But when you were a child, you got polio, which was the most dreaded disease, not just in America, but in the world.
Yeah.
So many people suffered from that. And then, fortunately, the vaccine came along. But you... And this is where you first became aware that you did have some deeper energies going on when you got the polio. Could you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Well, I had I was at the beginning of the polio thing. And I was young. We used to play by the river. And anyway, long story short, my father wanted to go to Cleveland. I lived in Ohio, and to a parade, and it was real important to him. It was a veterans parade, so it was
very
real
nice.
important to him. So I went the night before the parade. I came down with a very high fever, and still wanted to go because I didn't want to disappoint anyone, but I didn't feel too well. And I sat on a corner, and the best way to describe it was I could not get up, and after that point I could not walk. My legs were totally, it's like frozen, how you get stiff? Well, just multiply that. And they wouldn't move, there was no feeling, there was nothing.
Horrifying.
So my parents quickly came, they brought me home, and that was the time when doctors came to the house, and they did all kinds of tests, and I remember the doctor very well standing in the doorway with my parents and said, and I heard the words, because I was right in the next room laying down, that she has polio and she will probably never walk again.
Oh, the fear.
So I said, well, I wasn't even smart enough to be afraid.
Oh, okay. Your parents, I bet, were.
Yeah, they were crying. They were upset. But at that time, I knew there was just something. I don't know how to explain it because I was young and it wasn't. Today I know quantum physics and a lot of stuff, but then I just knew, no, I am not doing that. I could not imagine my life being without running around and doing the sports and all the things that I was used to doing. And every day, every day, there was only a few days, it was just absolute within me. I just knew. There's a difference with knowing and believing. And there was a knowing inside of me that something greater than myself I was not going to end up being paralyzed. Well, it took about maybe 3 or 4 days, and feelings started coming back in my legs. And within 5 days, I could get up and walk. I didn't say I was running yet, but within a very short period of time, maybe 6 days, 7 days.
It's amazing.
But what was so important to me at that time, not only to get that back and they did all kinds of tests on me because they wanted to see what the link was, why mine went away, the virus went away, and why others were still just beginning to really be popular, unfortunately getting hit. But what happened for me that was so important, that was life-changing for me, I knew that it could be done. I knew that healing was possible. And all my life, after that period of time, of course, I was like Gump. I never stopped running after that time. I was afraid if I didn't use them, maybe they'd go away again.
God bless you.
But they didn't, they didn't, of course. But I knew, and all through my life now, I've known I didn't have that limitation that so many of us have, thinking that we don't have the power of healing and that it doesn't exist. And of course it's connected to me with spirit. I mean, it's source. And of course it's connected to understanding the chi and the quantum physics of disease and so forth. But at that time, I was just blessed. I mean, I was given this opportunity to know that was not the fate I was going to accept.
I kind of got that vibe because when you said no, when you were telling the story and you went, no, I could feel it all the way over here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, not me. This
we
is
are
not
not
going to
doing
happen.
this.
We're not going to do this.
And that's what it takes. Honestly, that's what it takes to have that resolve with so many things that we are sort of given, as an opportunity to experience, and it doesn't resonate with us. And Norm over there knows. He knows how to say no with disease. No, I'm serious.
He does.
I'm
an eyewitness to.
And it takes a no. And then it takes learning how to readjust the energy so that it becomes healthy rather than. I was just blessed. I mean, I was given that very early in life.
Yeah, and apparently,
I was very thankful.
I'm sure. And I wanted to ask real quick: were your parents at all religious, or was there any religious?
My dad was spiritual. I wouldn't call my parents religious. My dad had a very strong belief in God and the higher beings, and my mother did too. She was. I was brought up Episcopalian. She was from England, so I was brought up that. But I used to run to church. I mean, I used to go by myself. I used to walk 2 miles to church, by myself, because
you enjoyed
I just felt it. So it was, the spiritual path has been my path for a long time.
And interesting, though, you've from there you went on to, you've had experiences where, wasn't there one in the Twin Towers in the 80s where you had a precognitive
Yes, I did.
moment?
I had a very strong moment. I had a friend. I was a hypnotist for a long time in Palm Beach, and I had one of my clients was from New Jersey, and she was. I was in New York at the time, and she was having a dinner, and the dinner was at the top of the tower, and in the restaurant. And I started moving, going into the elevator. You know how the building swings and swings. It's a little weird anyway.
Us out, yeah.
But anyway, I was going on the elevator, and at the time, my husband at the time, I said, I don't feel very good. And I usually don't get sick, so I'm sitting there, I really don't feel very well. And Jerry at the time said, well, let's go in and eat and you'll feel better. So we went, and the party went on, and came back out to the elevator. All of a sudden, I saw flames coming up through the elevator.
Oh.
And I saw the building, like, collapsing. I said, and I told the 12 people, we were 12 of us there, I said, this thing's going down. This building's going to go down.
Whoa.
I said, and I saw it collapsing, and I saw fire coming up the elevators and the building collapsing, and I turned around and I said, this is going to change everything. Everybody's
Wow.
life is going to change when this happens.
On that note, we do have to take a quick break, but that really, I've got goosebumps all over me.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to the Redwood Inn, my sponsor. Don't go away. We have to hear more of this when you come back.